Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Samp&Chance Wrestling. I am your host, Bobby Sampson, joined as always my man with the master plan, Mr. Chance, Michael's Chance. How you doing, man? Seahawks
Dude,
did not have a great weekend.
nope, Darnold had a bad game. Everybody's thumping on Darnold. You know what? One bad game out of what, week 11. We're in at 10, so it happens. You throw four picks, he didn't look good, but guy's been awesome all year. He was awesome in Minnesota. He had one bad game there too. We're dumping on the guy.
I tell
For
you what,
some
man,
reason, he's the
people,
man that we got guys like they just want to hate on Darnold. I don't know why.
well,
Maybe
look,
because he's
here's
a
the
ginger.
reality. But dude, people are just so quick to fucking judge.
One
Honestly,
bad, yeah. And they told ESPN told us in the summertime, oh, getting rid of Geno is a bad thing. Darnold's not good. Darnold's 10 years younger and way better than Geno Smith. And he had one bad game. If he keeps it up, fine. But back off, like you said, people are prisoners of the moment. Oh my God, Darnold sucks. We don't want the guy. Like, one bad game. He threw four picks, and we still almost won the game. So
yeah,
it
yeah.
happens.
I hear you, man. It just
I
that's
like
why
Darnold.
I think that's why I stay away from all that stuff. But
He's no Tom Brady, but he's a pretty good quarterback. And I'm happy
listen,
with him.
here's something I need to do. I haven't talked to you about it. I've unfortunately in our family we've suffered a loss. Um, I this was like my little brother. His name was Rick,
Mm-hmm.
and the reason I'm bringing him up is I literally grew up with this kid. Literally, like I mean, I'm older than him, obviously,
Mm-hmm.
but I watched him grow up as a kid. And the one thing he said to me at his wedding a couple of years ago, or a few years
Yeah.
now, Samson, if it wasn't here for a podcast, I couldn't sleep at night.
Well,
And I'm thinking to myself, okay, is this a positive thing or a negative
I was
thing?
gonna
Like,
say, is it so
is
boring that he went to
is our
sleep?
stuff so boring that it makes you fall asleep? But he said, no, it's just your voice.
Oh, nice. Well, that's a
It,
good thing.
so this episode and the next episode are dedicated in the memory of one Ricky Ball. May you rest in peace, my brother.
Rest in peace. I never met him, but I met his brother. So yeah, rest in peace.
Yeah, yeah.
Condolences to the family.
Very young, unfortunate,
Way too
and
young, dude. Younger than us.
well, yeah, much younger than us. Much younger than us. But hey, you know what? If anything we've learned from Vince McMahon, the show goes on,
Show must go on.
right?
Yeah, you did teach us that.
I have not slept in days because of all this and just generally everything else in life.
Mm-hmm.
But you know, it's I get energy today knowing that it is what it is. But listen, let's talk about blood and guts. We always go WWE first. I
Yeah,
want to talk about blood and guts first now,
I
okay?
like it. I like that.
And what I would love to talk about are the three matches that we got that night. Okay.
Yeah.
We're not going to break them down. We're not going to break them down detail for detail, but I will start off by saying I thought the women's blood and guts match was far more enjoyable overall than the men's. I thought the best match of the night, and for the first time in AEW history, the match between Hangman Page and Powerhouse Hobbs was just the right length, wasn't too
Mm-hmm.
short, wasn't too long, right amount of movement, right flow. That was a great match. That was probably the shortest match I've ever seen in AEW.
Well, it's good because Tony realized we got 2 hour cage matches coming here. We got to make this match, within 10 minutes or 12 minutes, whatever the length was. And it was a good match. The one thing I do like about Blood and Guts, I said on the preview show, is he put it on free TV. It's on Dynamite. One knock on Tony Khan is that he gives away a lot of pay-per-view matches for free, but I don't blame him for that because he needs to get the rating numbers up. So that's why he's doing it. So in that sense, I get it. WWE won't do that. They have better ratings. So I get what Tony's doing. It was a pretty good show for free TV on Dynamite. It was one of the better Dynamites we've seen in a while.
I think the last 2 weeks, okay, we
Yeah.
look at Monday Night Raw last
Mm-hmm.
week, last week and a half, let's say, okay,
Yeah.
as we look at back to last week, I thought Raw was really good in Boston.
Mm-hmm.
SmackDown was much better, not great, but much better than what they've been giving us in the last little
Mm-hmm.
while. Follow that up with another amazing Raw last night, in a way, in
Yeah, Raw
Madison
was
Square
good.
Garden. That was two back-to-back killer Raws that they had. Throw in a good Dynamite, throw in a good NXT, throw in a good TNA. A lot of controversy coming out of there in TNA land. I don't know if you're up to it or up to speed on it.
Yeah, I heard about the Mike Santana or whatever
Yeah, yeah,
stuff.
yeah.
Yeah, I heard about
But
that.
what I, very quickly on the Mike Santana, the fact that people are up in arms and so upset about him losing the title so quickly means that TNA is doing the right thing because people are
Yeah,
talking about it.
yeah, they're generating a buzz.
They're generating the vibes and people are wanting to tune in. Like, why would you take it off the Santana sort of a deal? But back to blood and guts. Here's what I take away from the women's match and your takeaways. Watching that women's match to me, because one thing we don't get enough of in women's wrestling is when they show color, correct?
Yeah, they don't do it often.
Showing color. Now, this is different from when you were my age, 8 years old,
Mm-hmm.
but not many people outside of Canada will know this. But do you remember the French channel?
Yeah, Bravo or whatever.
No, 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 no. Like CBC French.
Yeah. I know
You
that.
had the French channel, and then we had Showcase, the Showcase review.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah. It's
Yeah,
Channel 39 or whatever it was. Yeah.
exactly. When we were little kids, at that time, not the way TV is consumed today, how things are consumed today.
Mm-hmm.
Every Saturday night, it was either Drambuie Showcase or the French channel. We
Yeah.
get one glimpse of a booby.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And that was the highlight of the weekend for us young lads. We'd all go to school Monday. That's what it was like watching the women's blood and guts match.
Yeah, you don't see it often.
You don't see it often, and it's intriguing. You know what I mean? And that's what it was. I think the girl, look, I do have some criticisms too,
Mm-hmm.
but I just thought they were so much better at executing and just making it flow better. But that being said, here's what I thought was a problem in both matches. There were gaps where they were looking around to see what the next person was doing. Too
Mm-hmm.
evident. The other
Yeah.
part was if you're gonna hide stuff in the ring, know where you hit it. The fact that Julia Hart and Sky Blue didn't know where their plunder was took away from that match. That's my only thing.
Mm-hmm.
And the only other thing that I would say that was negative is the production. I thought they could have done better cut angles. I thought they could have done better with the camera work and the directing, but that's something that they've had a problem with, in my opinion, for a long time. All right,
Yeah.
I've said a lot. What do you got, bro?
Like I said, it's good to see these kind of matches on Dynamite because not a lot of people are going to buy the pay per view. They don't get big pay per view numbers. They only get 100,000 people buy the pay per view, maybe 150. So the pay per view numbers are pretty low. So Tony's not going to save a lot of these matches for the pay per view. He's got to throw them on Dynamite. The women worked their butts off. It was good. Tony Khan is definitely going, I think, for the older audience. He's, because we're seeing more hardcore stuff. The men are bleeding, obviously, the women are bleeding. So he's trying to get that 18 to 49 demographic, which a lot of that age group have turned off WWE, not all, but a lot. And he's seeing that. So he's upping the hardcore value. I guess he's trying to get that ECW crowd, that sort of hardcore crowd. And I don't blame him for what he's doing. I understand what Tony Khan is doing. You have to just watch the shows and figure out what he's doing. He doesn't always execute it very well. He's a little too sensitive, I think, to be a leader of a wrestling company. But the women's match is good, man. They went hard, they bled. You don't see it often, women bleeding like that. So it's something different. It's something different that WWE is doing. You don't see that in WWE very often at all. If they bleed the women, it's by accident.
It's hard.
Yeah, so
It's hard style, man. If they bleed in WWE, which is worse, I guess, in a way, right? I mean,
yeah,
but look, at the end of
you could say that it's hard to say. The WWE is always going to have more talent because they have more money. That's simple as that. Now, you could say that some people do say that the AEW women, although they might not be as talented as some of the WWE women are, they outwork the WWE women. They're working harder. And that's Tony Khan for you. And that's Tony Khan or somebody back there pushing them. Or it's the women inside saying, we're better than Rhea. We're better than Charlotte. We're better than Jade. We're better than them. We're going to outwork them and show everybody we are the best company. They got the money, but we're better. And that's kind of the message I get by watching the women's cage match.
No, it was solid, man. Trust me, I had no problem with it. I think the one thing that they have in their favor is they don't have to deal with the TV rating that WWE does, right? And outside,
no, he's worried about ratings too, but I think they're just trying to work them.
Right. But he's trying to attract that demographic, right?
Oh yeah, absolutely is.
Right. Like I mean, we've talked about this about the Juggalos. Okay, you want to wander, you want to know where the 18 to 49 Attitude Era demographic is now. They're going to be tuned into the Juggalo show because that's the style that they like.
And by the way, I have to give credit right now. And I wouldn't have watched it if it wasn't for Vince Russo. I'm telling you right now, Big Vito, he is doing an awesome mafia gangster gimmick. You guys just go watch the shorts on the JCW and the way he's performing and acting. Like I've never seen him do better. Like, he's a very, very good character. I'm super talented guy, Vito.
I'm dipping my feet into the Juggalos because of some of the things that we may have becoming our way. Jasmine St. Clair, is she like a good guy with her own faction against Vince Russo? I'm looking at these posters on X. You got Vince Russo on one side, and then you got Jasmine St. Clair with a couple dudes with her. So she got like, so that's what I got to figure out what her role
Well, we
is.
don't
And
know that, so we don't know yet. So he's only written 2 shows, so they're building towards it. Like he's always saying, it's a long build. He's building a story. I'm
yeah,
not
yeah,
quite
I
sure
get
to
that.
answer that, but they're
But
up to
I mean,
something.
this is probably the time to tune in, then, guys and gals. If you want
And I'm gonna
something
get
fresh and
another.
new,
I'm not a fan of ICP's music, but whatever. They got a big following, so good for them. They're millionaires. They've sold a lot of records, so I'm not gonna knock them. But Violent J, man, is he a pretty good character backstage? If you want swearing, you want like a rated R type movie, this is what it is. And Violent J he's a pretty entertaining guy in wrestling. I gotta give him that. He's a good character, and they've
oh,
had a successful company for 25 years, so they're doing something right.
fair enough,
And
fair enough.
I know how hard it is to. Being in the indie scene, and I started my own promotion too with a couple of buddies. I know how hard it is to get people to come through
Yeah,
that
I
door,
get it.
and it's
Trust me.
hard, man. So good for them.
Dude, if it's hard to get people to a show, can imagine how we can build an audience of what we've built up. That's
Mm-hmm.
just a dedication of hard work and passion here, man. So
Well, it's different because it's different with the indie wrestling world because number one, people look at it like, it's indie wrestling. These guys look like landscapers and bowlers, a lot of them, and some of them do. And then you got to get people to actually pay $30. You got to get them to drive to your show. And if you have one or two bad shows, they
I'll
ain't
be
coming back.
honest though, when I look at indie wrestling in general, especially up here in Canada, I mean, to really appreciate it, to get the real value of indie wrestling, in my opinion, you got to go to Calgary, Toronto, and Montreal. I hate to say it, I love Vancouver and I love what you guys are doing out here, but this is
Mm.
not a wrestling town.
No, well,
You know,
and I'll tell you why. You're right. Wrestling is way more popular. And I'll tell you why it's more popular out there. The talent's about on par because a lot of the same guys they come from Alberta. They get in their car, so we use a lot of the same guys that you're talking about. The difference is the weather, right? Out there, it's
oh,
cold
no,
as
no,
hell.
yeah, yeah,
No,
yeah.
so I'm just trying to explain to people. So I know you get it, but so we got look at the weather. It's not even raining today. You can go out in a t-shirt, in shorts, and go run around. You can't do that in Alberta. So we got so many more options out here. We're a
I
little
mean,
more
don't get me
lazy.
wrong, I'll wear a hoodie when I go outside these days, but yeah.
Yeah, we're a little more lazy down here in Vancouver. A lot of lazy, a lot of dope smokers, a little more lackadaisical than the Alberta raw in Ontario. So I think it's the weather plays a part in it, but talent's about on par because we share a lot of the same talent.
Yeah, I think the talent might be a bit more elevated in terms when you get more and more east. I think the approach, the attitude towards indie wrestling is more like that is in the States where indie wrestling is pretty big.
Yeah,
It
it's way bigger
truly
in the
is,
States for sure.
right? And that's what I mean. I think that's the point I'm trying to make. It doesn't have the same feel or the same oomph or the same kind of pride that these people take in their indie wrestling down south or back east here in Canada. That's all. That's my point.
Yeah, you're right. And
Wrestling,
the problem with the
Vancouver's a hard market, right? It's what have you done for me lately type of market, and it's in regards to the Whitecaps, it's in regards to the Lions, it's in regards to the Canucks.
yeah,
Canucks can win 10 straight, lose three, and everyone's shitting their
the,
pants.
yeah, and the problem with the indie scene, I know because I'm actually behind the curtain. I'll tell you one thing: the problem with the Vancouver indie scene, in 2015, 2016, or whatever, it was fairly tight knit. There's certain promotions with 900 people at Commodore and stuff. And then you fast forward right before COVID hits, you have a couple guys splitting up, and now you have a divide. There's too many wrestling companies in Vancouver. And so you have cliques and crews. You have our side, you have their side. These like 5 or 6 different promotions. This guy doesn't like that guy. This guy doesn't want to work because this guy. I'll tell you one thing about these indie wrestlers, a lot of them, not all of them, a lot of them, they're such crybabies
Oh
and
yeah,
such sensitive
we've seen it.
pansies.
We've
It
seen it.
doesn't matter if you don't like the guy who's booking the show. If we're offering you a PO or you're offering one of our guys a PO, you go there and do it.
Yeah.
I don't like his politics. He don't want to wrestle. Come on, man.
And
That's
again,
what kills the Vancouver scene.
my problem
Too split.
and when I hear that, it disparages me further because it's a sign of entitlement. Like, what are you entitled to?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I hate to say it. We're not entitled to anything, bro.
No, exactly. If we actually took, there's like, well, I don't know, let's say 6 or 7 wrestling companies around here, like legitimate ones. If we took the best 3 guys and women off each promotion and put on one show where
Yeah.
all of us could get along and put the politics and all this aside, we would have a good show as Alberta,
Yeah, I
Ontario,
believe you,
but
and that's the
we just
problem.
can't do it. We just
And
can't
that's
do
the
it.
problem because you got too many egos and too many
Yeah,
different ideologies
sensitivity.
and
Yeah,
too many political stances, which doesn't make any sense because the political stances that most of these people are upset and arguing over doesn't even relate to our country in a lot of
yeah.
ways.
It
But
all
let's not
started.
get political. Let's not get political.
No, I'm
But
not
you
going
know
to.
what I
I'm just
mean.
going to give it. It started with. It really started with COVID.
I get that. I
And
get that.
that's when people didn't want to get the shot. They did, calling anti-vaxxers. It just snowballed out of control. And here we are. But it is what it is.
No, no, I get it. But I just think people need to change their attitude because I mean, at the end of the day, if you were a megastar, I can understand having that attitude.
Mhm.
But you're still trying to reach the
Well,
top of the mountain,
I use
right?
this analogy all the time. Some of these guys don't want to work for certain promotions
Yeah,
because there's people that are booking.
yeah,
Well, CM Punk is the biggest woke crybaby liberal you're ever going to meet in your life. Yet, who's he working for?
yeah.
He's getting booked by a good friend of Donald Trump. CM Punk realizes you put that aside, you get the PO, you show up and you do the show. But these guys can't get that. And they
Look,
idolize CM
at the
Punk.
end
They
of the
love
day,
studying what he
it's a
does,
biz. At the end of the day, it's a business.
Yep.
The business is bigger than you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And when we get into boxing this week, guys, you got to listen to it because,
Oh, yeah.
again, that's going to be a big emphasis on our show this week in boxing. It's a business. At the end of the day, it's a business. Okay. But okay, let's talk about WWE. We
Yeah.
have War Games in a couple weeks. This card's looking good. I'm excited. The buildup looks good.
Looks good on paper, yeah.
I think the one thing that I took away last night from Raw was something that Wade Barrett said
What do you say?
in regards to CM Punk's team. This is an amazing team, one of the strongest looking teams. These guys are equal. And I had to take offense, not offense, I had to take objection to it. Sorry, because at the end of the day, when I look at the other team,
Oh, man.
the Bronze,
Yeah.
okay, Drew, Logan, and now Brock.
The elf, my favorite quote, and I stole it from Pat McAfee, and he says it. It's a great quote. The alpha male of our species. Every time Lesnar comes on, I love that quote about him because that's exactly what he is. The
No,
biggest, scariest dude ever in wrestling. And that
dude, he
team you
looks
just listed,
massive. He looks.
right there, to me, you could put them up against any team
Well,
from the
look here.
80s or 90s, and they're going to hold their own.
It's like Paul Heyman said, and I think it's one of the best lines he's delivered in a long time. And that's saying something because he delivers a lot of great lines.
Mm.
His best line he said last night: "I've walked the Freebirds to War Games.
Mm.
I've walked the Dangerous Alliance to War Games.
Mm-hmm.
This right here is probably the best group of talent I've ever walked to the ring.
He's 100% right.
That talent right now in their prime, the way they are, it could take out the Freebirds, could take out the Von Erichs, could take out any
They
team in
smash
their
them.
prime.
They would smash them. Yeah, well, yeah.
Right?
This is a
In their
scary
prime.
group.
The only guys I feel that could combine in their prime, if you have the Road Warriors in their prime,
Yeah.
and maybe a couple other guys in their
You could
prime,
throw Road Warriors, Hogan, Macho Man, and do something like that. Rick Rude, and yeah, but
right?
this team is as good as
No, it is.
as
So
good as
what
you're gonna
I'm
get.
scared about is this isn't a match as we get 2 weeks now, close to it now, right? Where we're 2 weeks away.
Yeah.
We got the go home shows next week, I guess.
Mm.
Right. So my only concern is I get it. You want people to be happy, but the reality of it is it would look horrible if Punk and Crew come out of this somehow. It just doesn't make sense.
I know.
And this is why you have a Jimmy Uso. I have an unfortunate feeling that Jimmy's going to be the scapegoat if to have this happen. It doesn't make any sense. You just look at that other squad. I just don't see how it's going to work in their favor. It's too young, too much, way much more cardio.
Yeah.
Faster, quicker,
Stronger.
stronger. And honestly, I have to say Logan looks great there. He looks really
Yeah, he's doing
comfortable
awesome.
there. Right. So it's going to be good. And I loved how Punk and them kind of got into it. The girls match is kind of slowed down a little bit now. Looks like we're going to get AJ as a part of the girls team.
Mm-hmm.
So there's still one more girl on either side. They need
my only thing with War Games is that I love Drew. Drew's one of my favorites, but I would have, if I was booking it, I would have moved him out. He doesn't we all know how good he is, and I would have put Austin Theory in there just because he's a
I
little
was
bit
going to
younger.
talk about that. So here we are
And,
once again, no theory.
What the hell is this guy? He's not hurt anymore.
Well, he's
He's
not
ready to
hurt
go.
anymore, but at the same time, he's been away long enough where maybe it's not right to put him on this squad. You know what I mean?
All
Like,
he has to do is run out, hit somebody on Raw. Oh my God, there he's with them. It's very
no,
easy to
hey, I
do,
get
right?
it, I get it, but I mean, unless they're going to do a 6 man aside, there's no room for him now.
Yeah, and then no, he's not. He's not going to join it. I think he should because you got to have. See, Logan's a young guy. Braun and Bronson, they're both young guys, right? So you can have a Lesnar, and you can have it. There's nothing wrong with it. I just think you should have thrown Austin in there personally, but
Gunther came back last night.
yeah, he'll be John Cena's last opponent. A lot of
Um,
people, actually, the one knock on Survivor Series, a lot of people are ripping it. Is why are we seeing Dom and John Cena again?
I
Because
think
Dom's gonna get the belt back, right?
well, no, I don't know because I thought personally, I thought it'd be best whoever wins this tournament is the guy that would beat Cena and take that title from him, right?
Mm-hmm.
I hope it doesn't play out that way, but I can understand what they're doing. They're in San Diego, they're in Dom's hometown. Dom's a tweener. People love him.
Mm-hmm.
They want to love him.
Yeah.
And maybe this is where that catalyst will finally happen. He'll be at home. He'll be interesting. He's home in San Diego.
Mm-hmm. But
That's the
I,
story.
I understand the story, but I just think like this whole John Cena retirement thing has been a complete disaster. And I just think I don't know who's writing it. If John Cena is calling his own shots, he's calling the wrong shots. If it's Khan, Shapiro, I don't know who's deciding this, but
You
they
know what?
flubbed
Either
this out
way,
of the
I
gate.
think it's better now
Too
than
bad.
it was in in the middle portion of it.
Yeah, I
Um,
said it, dude. I said it a year. Whenever he came back, I said it. You can rewind the tape. I said number one, John Cena cannot be a heel because he's too good of a guy. The guys that are the best heels are a bit of jerks in
well,
real life.
I
And
guess
then, how do you make a guy a heel who doesn't change his clothes? What did Hulk Hogan do? He dyed his beard black. He put on boots, different color boots. He changed his whole. He went from red and yellow to black and white. John Cena kept on the same gear. Well, how do you want us to believe he's a bad guy when he's dressing the same, coming out the same? Because it was just poorly done. And I think you're going to see in the next 6 months when this winds down, John Cena is a very good guy, but he's going to say, "Yeah, we made some mistakes. We should have this." And you're going to start seeing him come out in the interviews, and he's going to start taking some pot shots at this booking because it's been absolutely horrible for him. I don't know who's writing this, but it's been bad. They flubbed it. This could have been one of the coolest things we ever saw. The idea was good to bring him heel. They just didn't have the people in place to write it for him. And that's sad.
I think it's more than just the writing. It's the other people that were participating in that storyline that really messed it up too. We can't forget that. We cannot.
Yeah, I get it. But then even after the flub at WrestleMania from Rock and Travis Scott, then you move on with it. You take that, and then John Cena hammers out the Rock and he hammers out Travis Scott. He's like, rip him. He never did that.
Yeah, but because he knew they weren't going to come back, why would you cut shit on people?
But you got to let people know like this. You know what I mean? Rock's a coward. He ran and hid in Hollywood. You're a heel. You rip on people. It was just yeah, it was poorly executed. So
Fair enough. Fair enough. Okay, so back to Gunther.
yeah,
He comes back, kind of lackluster.
very.
Um, he should have, in my opinion, take nothing away from Devon or whoever he fought.
Javon Evans or whatever.
Javon Evans. Up and coming talent. This guy's a future. If everything goes well, I like everything he's doing. In Evans. So my initial thoughts on Gunther, he's tall, but that's as far as he is when it comes to being a big man. He's skinny and lanky. Did you see that? Or is it me?
No, you're right. He's kind of like a skinny fat. He's really tall, long arms, long legs. But he's in better shape than he used to be in NXT. But he's kind of got I know what you mean.
He looks like a praying mantis.
Pretty much, yeah.
Right.
I like the way he works, his strong style, I like his look. I just don't think that he's a champion because he can't really talk.
He's got new music. He came out with new music.
Yeah, I like that.
He came out with a new gown. Right. He's not wearing that jacket anymore. He's wearing more of a boxing kind of robe.
Yeah.
But yeah, no talking, nothing, very lackluster, very kind of just it happened. You know what I mean? So I'm hoping they can salvage something here.
I'll tell you right now, buddy, what you just said right there is 100% spot on. And I'm telling you, when he is like that, there's no way you can give him the belt back. If we're saying he's lackluster, you imagine what the average Joe was watching that, thinking about the guy. Like, he's tough. Nobody's denying he's not tough. He's not, and he's a good worker, but he's not champ material. There's other guys, so many other guys we can take over him, but he's just not charismatic.
I want to see him and Rusev fight.
That'll be all right. Yeah, the mid card, middle of the road card
right?
for
If
sure.
we're gonna turn Gunther, because I feel we're gonna get a turn here on him. Okay, because right now AEW, WWE, there's more heels than there's faces.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, and if you're a fan watching it continuously, as much as we do,
Mm-hmm.
it gets boring when the bad guy keeps getting the advantage. Every once in a while, you want to see your guy, get one in, right?
Yep. Oh yeah.
We don't get that as much. There's just so many heels. They need to make some faces across the board,
Yep.
across the board, right? Just
Agreed.
not right. And like when I look at AEW, for example, Blood and Guts, nothing against that team, but you want to talk about a team of indie darlings and
Yep.
gardeners and landscapers, as you put them.
Oh heck yeah,
That's
it was
that's
absolutely.
that's what.
Look at Daniel Garcia. Look at Mark Briscoe. Like, come on.
No, just forget that. My only concerns, and I brought this up to you, and I'm sure they have things in place, and they wouldn't allow things to happen that way. We know Kyle O'Reilly personally.
Mm-hmm.
We've met him. We've talked to him. Right? I mean,
Yep.
shit. The guy grew up in my hometown.
Mm-hmm.
Right? We went to the same high schools at different times, but
Yep.
I don't know how many people realize that Kyle O'Reilly is a type 1 diabetic.
Yep.
And half the reason that he's been off the roster and away due to illness or injury is because of his diabetes.
Mm-hmm.
Correct?
Correct.
For the fact that he bled like a stuck pig, like a halal piece of meat,
Mm-hmm.
just bleeding. That's not good for your health, especially if you're that level. Like type 2 is one thing. That's easy.
Mm-hmm.
This is the hard one. You can't fuck around.
I guess Tony talked to Kyle about it. And Kyle said, "Yeah, he just loves wrestling and he's so passionate and he's a
I
pretty good
almost
guy. He
feel
must
that,
agree to it."
yeah, well, obviously he had to agree to it, but I don't think it was the wisest decision in my mind, personally.
I think the problem. So number one, obviously, like I've been training Muay Thai a long, long time, well over a decade. I do it every week. The one thing I do love about Kyle O'Reilly, and I've talked to him about it, is there's not many guys when they throw their kicks, they're not actually throwing real martial art kick. But Kyle O'Reilly is. He turns his hip and he chops his arm down as he kicks, which is actually a proper Muay Thai kick. And if you watch his knees, he clutches the head and the grip, and then he starts to like you do in Muay Thai. The
Yeah.
thing do like about Kyle O'Reilly, he incorporates martial arts moves as much as he can. Standing up, Muay Thai is what he's doing. And then on the ground, he's in jiu-jitsu. So he's doing a believable, strong style, and he's fighting what his size says. He's not trying to act super tough, and that's what I do admire about Kyle O'Reilly. The only knock on Kyle O'Reilly is he's not very charismatic. Great athlete, great in the ring. He just needs maybe somebody that can help him out on the promo. Somebody needs to write his promos for him. But I do love the way he does that because it's very talented.
Maxie Dupree wins the Intercontinental title. This sets us up for AJ and Becky now. Probably going to get it at Survivor Series. Should be fun.
Yeah, it's all right. Yeah, one thing I did like about Raw, obviously they brought the stars. But you're at MS, you got to bring the stars out. Do you notice who's in the crowd who they didn't show in the audience?
Shano was in there too. They're all there for Cena.
No, I know why they were there. I just find it funny that nobody didn't show Shano.
Yeah, no. Shano was there. There was a lot of people there, man. There was something special about MSG shows, right?
Well, it was the John Cena, and they brought out Brock. And the funny part is, I like how they brought out Brock because who was standing? The commentators. The one thing that CM Punk said when he came back, you're not allowed to make fun of my martial arts career. He was 0-2. He was horrible. Who comes out? Former UFC champion, guy who was one of the toughest men to ever walk. Then you come in there and see this jabroni in the ring, and he just tossed Punk like a ragdoll. And I thought that was good booking, and people, you can read between the lines that they did that on purpose. Why did you have the Punk in there? Because you want the UFC former champion toss around this little guy to
dude,
he awesome.
Basically Brock came in and he took out both their champions.
Yep.
Right, but I like the fact that they kind of brought it to a level again with Roman at least.
Mm-hmm. No, it's good because you kept
Roman looked small
compared to Brock, of course.
Well, no, just generally, even when he came out, he looked like slim, like he's lost a lot of muscle.
I think he's more toned up, and he's probably off a cycle.
That's what I'm saying. I think it's with a lot of the movie stuff, right? Like he's going deeper and deeper into this movie side now.
Roman is, he's an awesome talent. He's not the best talker. I don't know how well he's going to do in Hollywood. We'll wait and see. But I like how he punched Brock, and then Brock took it well. He Brock did a little flip in the ring, ran
Yeah,
out of there, like
yeah.
so. It kept Roman strong, right? We all know Brock ripped his head off, but it kept Roman strong.
Well,
It was
outside
a
of
good ending.
Roman, to be fair, man, when I'm looking at the men's side, the good guy side, if we will, outside of Roman and Cody, to be fair, the rest of them.
Well, you got Punk. He's supposed to be a good guy.
No, no, no. What I mean is, in terms of you line them up, you face them all together, right? You just look at it,
Oh
it's
yeah,
just a
yeah, yeah.
mismatch,
Oh,
right? I mean, the only things that are good for that team, in my opinion, that make me believe that okay, there's a chance here, is Roman and Cody.
you know what, dude? I would turn Austin Theory face, and I'd throw him on the Cody team.
Yeah, but they already filled now. They
No,
got
I know. I'm saying
signed.
like prior to this, I would have thrown like a young guy out there.
You
It's
would,
like
you would think, right? But I don't know. Well, I guess we'll find
and
out.
Logan Paul and CM Punk, man, they got great chemistry. These guys are
I
gonna have a
think
match.
that's going to carry on after this,
Someday.
right? This is going to lead into this. I don't know. I think everything's
No,
dependent on
Raw was good
Seth.
last night.
It was good.
They brought out the big dogs.
It was
It was a
good.
good
I have
show.
no
They
issues.
brought back Zack Ryder.
Yeah, Zack Ryder. They had Dolph Ziggler back. Now we just need Vinny back. We're getting closer and closer to 2015, bro.
I don't know if it's just a one-off for Dolph
It
and
is,
Zack.
but they're all TNA guys, right? Like Dolph
Mm-hmm.
is already in TNA,
Mm-hmm.
right? Nesmith. He's going by Nesmith there.
Oh, is he okay?
Yeah. So it's just like, yeah, we're getting closer and closer to 2025 or 2015 again.
Mm-hmm. I'll say one thing, man. The last two Raws have been good. This one, obviously, like you said, MSG, it's special. You bring out the big guns, you go hard, and it was a pretty solid Raw. It wasn't bad at all, man.
No, I have no problems with it all. So listen, I think we've started a good week in wrestling. We got a whole bunch of good stuff happening here, brother man. Is there anything that you wanted to touch on?
Yes, I do. I do. And I actually just came across this morning when I was studying for this show and studying for our boxing show coming up. And I just came across on my YouTube algorithm feed. And one of my favorites, Baron Corbin, just so happened he was on a podcast. It was only a 10-minute one because you got to buy it on Patreon. But I listened to the first 10 minutes of it. And Vince Russo had him on. And Baron Corbin said something that I've been saying and Drew's been saying. The problem with WWE is we've let the fans in the ring. And then he went on to say, he's a former Golden Gloves boxer, former NFL player, legit tough, big athlete, right?
Golden Glove.
Yeah, Golden Gloves twice. And he's saying that a lot of these wrestlers come in there, they've never been punched in the face, they've never been real athletes. And he's basically just saying, like, I'm not going to give it all away, but yeah, he's basically crapping on a lot of these guys we see in the ring that shouldn't be in the ring, that I've been saying too.
Okay, well, you know what?
I think fans so I'm just glad that when Baron and Drew say it, it's validating what the average guy is thinking, because these guys can speak up and say it now, right?
Okay, and what have I been saying to you, Chance?
What's up?
The same, in the exact same breath. I've been saying the same thing. We are starting to see that effect now of what happens.
Oh yeah, no, you're right. I'm not saying you did. I'm just saying in general.
It's just yeah. But he's basically saying what we've been saying. You know what I mean? In essence, he's just got a platform a little bit bigger than ours where people are going to hear it.
Yeah.
We've been saying the same thing. Even I'm saying it. Okay. And I love the business, right?
Yeah. Don't get me wrong. There's a lot of sick, like Roman Reigns and Lesnar.
I get it, but Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar and guys like that come from a different time. The last few guys that came through the real system, in my opinion, right?
Yeah.
When you start going to universities and recruiting track athletes, when you're recruiting other athletes from different sports, this effect is starting to show now. What happens when you don't have somewhat of an indie background?
A couple guys got away with it, like Lesnar and Angle, but they're freak once in a lifetime athletes. So
they're once in a lifetime athletes, but they have a wrestling background.
Yeah, they have the amateur. Yeah.
Okay. Bianca Belair was a track star.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Tiffany Stratus is a gymnastics person.
Yeah. I understand what they're
soccer
thinking.
Players, stuff like that.
Well, Marin is more talking about, the Daniel. He didn't mention names, but he's talking about Danny Garcia's and the Sami Zayn looking kind of guys, the guys that if you take their pictures and you show them to an average guy, what do these guys do for a living? Not one person would say they're pro wrestlers. Might say a plumber, a landscaper. I know Sami Zayn hates if you call him a taxi driver, but that's what he looks like.
Yeah,
but if I take a picture of Macho Man and Rick Rude, they're going to say they're wrestlers, and that's the problem.
I think.
But Baron Corbin, man, he's go listen to his podcast. I think his real name's Thomas Pestuck or something like that.
Yeah. No, it's good. I mean, he's valid. He knows what he's talking about.
Yep.
Definitely. All right, guys and gals, I'm gonna wrap it up here. Let's wrap it up.
Yeah, we pretty much covered it all. Good
We've
Raw
covered
overall, though.
everything, this and that. And you know what? Is it okay if I do a plug here?
Yeah, go for it, man.
All right. So WSN, ladies and gentlemen, we are on the WSN network. We have some amazing stuff coming up here as well. You can catch our show there. You can catch so many other different shows. The Professor Bears there as well. Your personal favorite, the Wizard.
I like the Wizard. He's entertaining.
He's also out there as well. So guys, check out WSN, Roku, Apple TV, and also Chance. I've started a show with the Bear there as well
Nice.
called The Professor and the Samp. And what we're going to be doing, it's, we talked about it a little bit. The first episode was what it was, just to get a feeling out there, get a sense of what we're doing.
Yeah.
But as we progress, we are actually going to be doing a Monday morning podcast.
Nice.
It's going to launch at 9 a.m. here on the West Coast, 6 a.m. here on the West Coast, 9 a.m. on the East. It's basically just a week in review. Okay. And basically what we're going to be doing is we're just going to look at the shows, not break them down fully, just quick highlights. Yeah. And we're going to talk about the highlights of the week and the highlights of the headlines of the week. So it's going to set you up for the week ahead. Something different, something to try. We talked about it as well. I've mentioned it to Bear. I kind of want to make this into more of Pardon the Interruption style show.
Little fast pace on the next subject. Yeah,
exactly. Right. And I think that's what's going to be fun. So guys, very soon I'll send you guys all the link and you can wake up with the Prof and the Samp, man.
Nice. Yeah, I hope wish you guys good luck on that.
Yeah, no, it's fun. It's just a project for WSN, something on the side. And just something different to do, man. Something fun to have, right?
It's always fun. Speaking of fun, we got a fun one come up on our boxing show. Everybody check it out.
We do. Hopefully it plays out the way we're hoping it will play out, and we'll kind of go from there. All right. My name is Bobby Sampson. His name is Mr. Chance Michaels.
And in the words of the great AC/DC, those that download, like, subscribe to the podcast, we salute you.
We do salute you, ladies and gentlemen. Remember, we are now getting into, it's still fall, but it's starting to turn into winter. So please be careful. If you haven't changed your tires, please change them just for your own safety and for your family's safety. And keep working hard towards your dreams. Do not give up on your passion. Do not get up on your loves. And don't let anyone interfere or get in your way because they don't want you to succeed. Samp and Chance are out. Have a great week.